Morning, guys. You're looking into the eyes of somebody who has not slept yet, so bear with me. Please continue to like, subscribe, share, and let us listen over that. Let us read some fan fiction first thing Monday. I think both the UK and America are having bank holiday weekends. I hope you guys had a good one. I hope you rested. On Saturday, I went to Bruges. Yes, a day trip that ended up being a bit of a disaster because we used the ferry, which again, never done that before. I don't think I'll do it again, not while we have Brexited, but Bruges was absolutely beautiful, worth a visit if you live in Europe. Let's react to this, what I'm hoping is going to be a lot of sycophancy nonsense. My week with Prince William, the quiet disruptor. Oh, please. Rhiannon Mills, because of course it is, Sky News royal correspondent, spent the week shadowing Prince William, seeing firsthand the potential blueprint for the future queen. And because this is a Murdoch paper, we know she is not going to be objective. I'm expecting some toadying nonsense. So let's get to it. Is Prince William a royal disruptor? Yes, he is. The first royal in history to work from home. The first royal in history to look like he's aging inwards. I don't understand what's going on with William. The laziest royal in history, I think, because I don't think I've heard. It's hard to think of anybody lazier than William, actually, as far as historical records show. Who could possibly? I can't think of anybody lazier than. Sorry, my bad. His wife is there. My bad. His wife is lazier than him, which is a bar I didn't even think was possible, but well, here we are. Hey, photographed in a beam of sunlight. Prince William walks through Westminster Abbey with the king behind him. The ornate robes of the Order of the Bath Service 2 weeks ago felt like a world away from the modern image he wants to portray, huh? But as a man bestowed with so many traditional titles, it's a new title he's shaping up for himself, guys, that is more intriguing. William the Quiet Disruptor. This is him from the Order of the Bath fiasco last week, where the crowd of zeros and ones were there to greet him. In a week when Time magazine named, I was going to respond to this and I will, named the Prince and Princess of Wales in its top 100 philanthropists list for modernizing modern royal philanthropy, I spent the week following the Prince on various engagements. None of them particularly headline grabbing, but all examples of how he's setting out to do things differently. So, actually, you know what? Let me give this to her. She's right. If you look at his father, the reason why he does most of the activities he does is because his father at least understands that royalty exists because they need to be seen. So if William is a disruptor in that he's working and nobody is paying attention or cares, then yeah, he really is a disruptor because he's probably the first future king in history to have people care less than zero about anything he's doing. So yeah, I will give him that. Yeah. And potential criticisms he faces doing things his own way, aka he's not doing anything at all. Take Tuesday, for example. We weren't expecting him to turn up as we waited at the Soho Hotel in London to watch a new series of films about the dangers by wildlife rangers, a project described as the brainchild of Prince William. I will check this because that's not what I've been told. From what I've been told, William attached his name to an already existing piece of work. But all of a sudden, there he was in the room, taking the mic to explain what it really means to him. Speaking about his drive to give a voice to the voiceless, it was indicative of what he felt, what he feels like. What? It was indicative of what feels like a greater desire from him to articulate more publicly what he stands for. Since November, when he described how he wanted to carry out his duties with a smaller R in the royal, you've got the sense William and his team have further wanted to cement in our minds where he sees his role. From conversations this week with those who work closely with him, the word convening up again and again is the prince doesn't want to waste what he knows is a unique position to bring people together, start conversations, and support those who are already doing amazing things in their community. I see, but you can't reconcile with your brother. But you allowed but you were leaking lies about your sister-in-law. But you went on the show with the man who called for sexual violence against your sister-in-law. William, this is how you want to do things differently, right? Prince William recording the opening scenes for a documentary about Rangers and the dangers they face, shifting the dial. But this isn't about him personally. This is now a man whose vision for the monarchy, I'm told, is increasingly driven by a desire to shift the dial on global leadership where others may be failing. I'm guessing this is a quote from his spokesman. With palace official sources telling me he'd be more than happy to be acknowledged as a quiet disruptor, despite the criticism his new ways of working might bring. Those who've known him a long time will tell you this compulsion to do things differently has been there for some time. Dr. Tessie Ojo, the chief executive from the Diana Award, has worked with William and Harry for 20 years. She said they would never do royal engagements from the sense of cutting the ribbon or simply being poster people. We were clearly warned if you wanted any form of engagement, it almost had to have a whole strategy behind it. She told me she has always sensed how much William appreciates the responsibility that comes with his role, especially in a world where there's a massive demand on leadership. There's a lot of distrust on leaders. What people wanted 40 years ago from their monarch is completely different, she said. I think it's super important that as the heir, as the next monarch, he's very in tune with what the people want and what people expect. And being able to be that 21st century monarch who is a present dad, but also a leader who understands how to use his leadership for social good. I would like to remind everybody the following. Prince William and his and Kensington Palace were leaking articles and lies about Duchess Meghan, many of which she's found impossible to shake off. Prince William's boyfriend, Jason Knopf, told everybody that Meghan bullied people without providing any evidence, and Jason Knopf, at William's instruction, tried to testify against Meghan when she took the tabloids to court for printing a private letter she sent to her father. That all came from William. Prince William has the Earthshot Prize that he wastes the charity's money trying to do an award-style event traveling all over the world at taxpayer expense. Prince William did not issue any statement as a future king, monarch, head of the family when his sister-in-law was roundly abused by Jeremy Clarkson. Instead, Prince William rewarded him by showing up on his show. Prince William, before Meghan came, used to basically treat his wife. His wife never, you guys, I'm not making this up. His wife never walked with him. She always walked behind him. She knew her place. But then when it became very apparent that Harry and Meghan were not going to allow that, did not have that type of relationship, and when Meghan was getting a lot of praise for how much she's a modern woman, she's an independent woman, all of a sudden they found something for his allegedly illiterate wife to do. Kate can't read, allegedly. But yeah, this is social good. And I haven't even spoken about the fact that Prince William is a slumlord and collects monies from charities and the NHS and took a £50 million windfall last year and did not pay taxes. William has refused to declare his taxes. Oh yes, his homeless drive, right. That he recruited banks to come and participate in. Are we going to get any information, William, on how that's going? Because you said you were trying to solve homelessness. Oh, and don't forget his commitment to helping the Middle East. How's that going, William? Just nonsense. Nobody is challenging him. Nobody is asking questions. Nobody is asking to see audited proof that the things that they are saying are being done. Just coming here to give us sycophancy nonsense. A modern royal, Wednesday, and William walked into a sweaty but infectiously positive community hall in Leith, Edinburgh. No ribbon cutting here, but this is the kind of visit the prince now sees as a big deal. impact, the buzzword of any engagement now. Was he carrying his empty folder? The masses want to know. A very lively game of football launching what we hope will be a long-term tie-up between the Royal Foundation, their charitable trust, Leith Community Centre and Street Soccer Scotland. On Thursday, the sight of a guard of honor saluting the prince and princess as the national anthem was played along HMS Glasgow just emphasized the regular handbrake turns they face from the more relaxed to the formal, as they want to make the monarchy feel more connected and relevant. I want to remind everybody, Kate may be illiterate, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, sorry, allegedly. Then there is family to consider in a way that past generations just haven't. I might give them that one. Their working diaries are now arranged around their children. They have made no secret about it. On paper, it means fewer engagements compared to other members of the royal family. And it has led to mutterings of that word no one within the palace wants to hear work shy. So they are using their children as an excuse. So this is the thing. In some of the interviews, when they're trying to insult Harry, they're always asking us, what does he do all day between 9 and 2 when his kids are away? What does he do? What does Kate and her husband do? They've literally just come out now to say their working diaries are now arranged around their children. So that means that the children are the excuse they have for not doing anything. Your kids are grown, my dear. You have nannies. Please don't give me that BS. Making an impact, but talking to people in Glasgow away from the royal visit, I overwhelmingly found most thought William was setting a good example by putting family first. So she saw, if you guys remember, and I was going to post it here, and I will during the live, the crowd of zeros and ones that showed up to hail the royal family. So she went to go and ask maybe one of them, that one of the 4 people that were there, and they were saying, she overwhelmingly found most thought William was setting a good example by putting his family first. What people were less clear on was his social impact work and what that is all about. Ooh. I didn't think she would put any type of shady. I thought this was going to be 100% sycophancy nonsense. I'm interested in seeing what comes next. The community projects may not necessarily grab as much attention as William and his advisors want, lol. But what will be fascinating to watch is the potential long-term impact of this new kind of ethos. As the Prince and Princess of Wales stood on the steps of Buckingham Palace at a garden party on Tuesday, pausing for the national anthem, you can't help but wonder whether those traditional elements of royal life could face a shake-up when one day he leads full term. Understandably, no one likes to talk about the transition because that means King Charles is dead. But Prince William certainly doesn't shout about his thoughts on what will come. Well, I thought this was over. Okay. But as heir, his vision for the future and what royal leadership should look like could have huge consequences for the institution, and impact far more significant and lasting than the noisy disruption it's faced from other families in recent years. This is shade against Meghan and Harry. Oh, God. Let me summarize it. Rhiannon went on a 1-week trip with William. He didn't do anything except for Tuesday and Wednesday, and of course on Thursday, when the world was reminded that Kate might actually be an illiterate and she doesn't have anything to say. This was an entire article of nothing, fresh air and nonsense. And from what I heard online, it got zero engagement. Okay, it didn't get zero engagement, but it got about the same type of engagement. Let me first of all see the reactions. Okay, that's me advertising what that kid might be an illiterate. Take care, Chucky. William wants a top job more than you ever did. He sees how old you are and he does not like that. He wants to wear the crown and look good. He doesn't want to be Prince Lucifer for long. Yep, the author, yes, she did. Right. So basically, if I had to summarize this ridiculous article, let's keep it simple. William plans on being a very lazy royal. They know this, he knows this, and he's telling them now. So they are laying the groundwork necessary to ensure that the average person sees the lack of work as something to be happy about, because now the excuse is the children. They are blaming the kids for their laziness. Oh, William doesn't do any engagements because he wants to be there for his kids. So am I to take it then, William, that the nannies that you have for your children are no longer needed because you are a very present dad? I take that. That is how I'm interpreting it, because if I see nannies with these kids, my question comes back that, okay, so the nannies are watching the kids. What exactly are you doing between 9 and 2 yourself that makes it seem that makes it impossible for you to do any impactful work? And I love in the article, whether she intended it to or not, the fact that people don't know anything that William is doing socially. So his so-called social good or impact keyword is just for himself. Basically, the world is not seeing what you're doing, William, and you know that must piss him off. This is what I think, yeah. William and the royal router will continue to attack Harry and Meghan. One, because Harry is doing more impactful charity work, from travel list to, I mean, Invictus alone. Come on. Invictus alone is bigger than anything any member of the royal family is doing, including William. Government sponsor Invictus. What Harry has built is something that will continue when he goes. Earthshot wouldn't. Earthshot is a pet project of Williams that is adding zero value, no impact, nothing. And don't even get me started on the mental illness lies they keep on telling us. It's just a mess, guys. This whole article was rubbish. And if I were William, I would be genuinely concerned, because you see, the more Meghan shines, the more Harry shines, the more it continues to show the world that you are going to be a terrible, useless, lazy king. And again, guys, the more Kate talks, the more it becomes glaringly obvious that woman cannot read, allegedly. If you want to get more details about this, please join my live. I'm going to go into detail. We're going to talk about the Times article, because we all know now that that was utter and complete nonsense, that they clearly paid favors of their friends, and they said it in the Times article to get that top 100 philanthropy title, that top 100 philanthropy placing that they got. What else? Oh yes, the fact that they were spreading lies that Kate Middleton's early years is the reason why Deloitte, multinational consultancy company Deloitte, brought paternity leave. I have the speech and I have the papers from Deloitte. It had nothing to do with early years. It had everything to do with data. And yeah, we're going to catch up with that during the 1 p.m. Live chat. Please join so that we can get all the tea. Please join, please join, please join. I don't know if Meghan is going to release any As Ever products. Seeing the video of her baby made me think something is coming. Maybe we're getting more honey, guys. Who knows? Like I said, guys, please continue to like, subscribe, share, support the channel. And yeah, catch you later. Bye.